News360 Headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint,
Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal.
EcoBank.
President Mahama warns shipping lines of penalties for importing excavators without approval, citing licensing measures to combat illegal small-scale mining in Ghana.
Meanwhile, the Attorney General has directed the Ashanti Regional NPP Chair, Bernard Yakubu, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, to appear in Accra on October 6 over charges linked to Akonta mining allegations.
Also, Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association gives government a 3-week ultimatum to provide clear payment schedule for nurses who are still owed salary arrears.
And later in business, fuel prices begin another round of upward adjustment as Shell and other oil marketing companies increase diesel and petrol amid cedi depreciation and global crude gains.
In international news, South Africa's highest court unanimously rules that all parents of newborns are entitled to equal parental leave in a landmark judgment.
We're live around the world on 3news.com and we are streaming on Facebook as well. So do be a part of the show. Let's hear your thoughts on the many stories we have for you tonight.
President John Dramani Mahama says that efforts must be made to arrest the financiers and kingpins behind illegal small-scale mining, also known as galamsey, and not just the boys in the pit. Addressing civil society organizations in Accra on Friday, October 3, which is today, President Mahama served notice to shipping lines that they will be penalized if they bring in excavators without permission.
One of the important successes is the change in the whole issue of excavators. Excavators came in huge quantities, and I remember that at a point under the previous administration, they asked that permits be gotten before excavators are imported. Meanwhile, the law did not say you should get a permit after, but that was what we came to meet, that you bring the excavator, then you go to the Ministry of Transport and ask for a permit. But the law actually says that you must get a permit before you import the excavator. And so now we're enforcing that law. And so you can't bring an excavator in, you can't put it on a ship, and we're telling the shipping agencies, if you bring an excavator for which there's no permit, we shall penalize you, the shipping agency, for carrying that excavator here to Ghana. What are we doing to the kingpins? Because most of those 1,400 who have been arrested are young youth who are looking for something to be able to look after themselves. And we'll prosecute them, we'll imprison them. But those who run those operations are the ones that we must be arresting and imprisoning, not these little boys. You know, and so we need to change our strategy. We can arrest the boys and all that. And I think that even if we send them, they should be given a leaner sentence by the judge, a slap on the wrist. But those who must be given, there's no slap on the wrist. What's the least sentence? 15 years. 5 to 15. Yeah, so we'll catch these boys and we'll feed them for 5 years, look after them for 5 years, and discharge them. But like I'm saying, maybe we can look rather for the kingpins and deal with them in a major way so that we are able to get something on this whole thing.
Well, in a related development, the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Bernard Yakubu, has been asked to report to Accra on Monday, the 6th of October, for his charges to be read to him following the alleged involvement of his Akonta mining company in illegal small-scale mining. The Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayina, disclosed this during the President's engagement with civil society organizations on how to collectively tackle the illegal mining menace.
The
statistics that were given included 1,400 arrests. About 1,400 arrests. Now, the biggest problem we've had with the arrests is the 48 hours rule. Constitutional principle that we must bring them before the courts within 48 hours. Most of the judges have been granting them bail. So I remember the point that was made by Colonel Boa. When we arrested 9 people in Kumasi, he called me and I told him that immediately place them before the court and then ask for them to be detained so that we do our investigation. When they appeared before the court, Your Excellency, they were granted bail. Okay? Then they went back. He was very good in monitoring them. They went back into the forest. So I told him that even despite the fact that they've been granted bail, because they have gone back into the forest, they've committed a new offense. I asked him to arrest them, but to bring them to Accra, instead of placing them before a court in Kumasi. And I'm dealing with them now. They are in detention. We will not release them. We will make sure that even if the High Court says we should grant them bail, we'll go to Court of Appeal and go to the Supreme Court to ensure that we hold them until the dockets are prepared and then we send them to court. Currently, we have initiated prosecutions in 65 dockets. And Mr. President, there's a difference. When we say 65 dockets, it is not 65 individual persons who are being prosecuted. Some of them are more than 10. In fact, there is one case in the Western North. There are 28 minors that are involved in that prosecution. So the 65 dockets, by my calculation, contains about 600 persons that are illegal minors that are being prosecuted. And I'm happy to announce that in 2002, the police conducted very diligent investigations in respect of Akonta mining. But the docket was hidden until we came to power. In fact, when we came to power and I started the investigation with the the Lands and Natural Resources Minister and the Forestry Commission, we were finding it difficult to get information. Subsequently, the police themselves owned up and presented the docket to my office 2 months ago. So as we speak, the charges against Chairman Wuntumi, Akonta Mining, and 5 others have been signed as I speak. Currently, we are waiting for him to be read his right to remain silent, etc. Before we've asked that he should be brought from, Kumasi. His lawyers asked that he should be brought on Tuesday, but I'm insisting that he should be here on Monday. If he doesn't come on Monday, I'm going to order for his arrest so that he'll be brought to Accra. His rights will be read to him, and then we can start the prosecution.
Right, so let's go to the phone lines now and speak to a private legal practitioner and one of the individuals who actually asked that government or the state look into the Akonta mining controversy. So Martin Pebu has joined us. Thank you very much, sir, for your time, and good evening.
Good evening. Evening.
Right. Of the presentation that the Attorney General made, he singled out or mentioned particularly Akonta mining and Chairman Wuntumi. And I recall that your outfit or a group of lawyers decided to take on to take on the Ashanti Regional Chair of the NPP. Now that the Attorney General has given clear indications that he is to be read his rights for prosecution to begin, how does that come to you? What do you make of it?
It is so surreal, right? Exhilarating. Yes, it's a great moment, okay? And there's our Republic Ghana that finally Chairman Wuntumi, that's Bernard Nchibo his Akonta mining, will face the law court, okay? That is very important because, you see, we started this case that we filed a complaint, and as you rightly mentioned, it's actually myself, Dr. Ken Ashigbe, Kwame Aseidu, and Adam Senanu. We filed this petition in October 2022. But because the NCID board, Ferdinando Kofi and Dampare, didn't want to displease Akufo-Addo, they played hanky-panky with us, dilly-dallying, kukwasa, that's meaning slow, hoping that we'll give up the fight. We never did. And so it's been 3 years. And you can imagine the excitement that we kept reminding them day in, day out that this case must see the light of day in a court of law. And thank God now we are eventually in there. So it's exciting. And you know what it will do is that it will restore a bit of confidence in this administration, because it will show that, yes, the kingpins are being taken on. And also it will restore citizens' confidence in the justice system, because a lot of ordinary citizens don't believe the justice system works against powerful people in society. And no chairman, to me, being Ashanti regional chairman of the NPP, is such a powerful person. So his case in court will be a good one. It will be a poster child of kingpins in Galamsey being taken on. And it will send the right signal to like-minded Galamseyers to stop. Otherwise, they will face the same law courts.
Right. So he says Monday, so we'll all wait to see how that plays out. But the AG also touched on the fact that regional tribunals are also being reintroduced, and it's a measure to help in fighting or at least expediting the trial of illegal mining cases. As a lawyer, what do you make of it?
It's a welcome development, extremely welcome, because you know, there is a backlog of cases in the High Court. And so these new cases under Oral, Galamsey, etc., that are being filed are also going to meet the backlog. So the key thing is that once we are having new courts that will be able to help take on some of these new cases, is the right direction. Because, you know, our citizens are so expectant. Every day I get messages from citizens saying, what's going on? What's going on? Is Oral dead? Is Oral dead? And I tell them, no, it's not dead. It's due process. Because we've been on vacation for a little over 2 months now. So the cases have stalled. If we're in term time, maybe every week you hear, oh, the Dubuahi case went to court. Or the Mustafa Hamid case went to court, etc. I know because the courts are on vacation for a little over 2 months now, you don't hear anything about all these cases. Right. But it's on. So the whole thing is that, and the Attorney General himself knows, he says he has been monitoring social media and he's seen how citizens are expectant. So he should get on with it. It's good.
Okay, Martin, thank you so much for your time this evening. Definitely he will be engaging you in subsequent days on some of these issues.
Meanwhile, President John Dramani Mahama says while Ghana has made some progress in the fight against illegal mining, widespread anxiety persists. He was addressing the 2025 PR Knowledge Sharing Conference, a global gathering of public relations professionals.
Addressing the issue of illegal mining, President Mahama emphasized that enforcement alone is not enough. He stressed the need for effective communication, grassroots mobilization, and community ownership to ensure lasting success.
Despite some success in combating this illegal activity, there is much anxiety amongst our people because we have failed to convey the full extent of the destruction and the difficult battle needed to root out a problem that has deeply embedded itself in our nation's fabric. And I'm pleased that IPR Ghana, in a robust statement they issued in 2024, called for the adoption of a comprehensive behavior change communication strategy as part of the national response to Galamsey. I support that vision 100%.
The immediate past president of the African Public Relations Association, Yomi Badejo Okunsoya, called for a strategic approach to messaging, especially in local communities.
The devastating effect of Galamsey is so huge that it's something that must be done with immediate alacrity. As nationalistic as politicians want to be, their self-interest. So a politician that knows what is right to do, but knows it will not help him in the next election, will actually speak against that issue or we keep quiet. And that's why we talk about crafting the narrative. Every time you are managing a crisis, never lose the narrative.
President of the Institute of Public Relations Ghana, Esther Numaba Koba, highlighted the importance of crafting innovative ways to engage the public on critical issues like galamsey.
Gold is good, but it's mining, the process of mining it and producing it can also affect us. And we're seeing that in Ghana. We assume that everybody understands how to use all the things that we have, all the innovations that we have and resources we have around us for good. It's not always the case. And we often go after them with force and with fear. But human beings, when engaged properly, effectively, can be reasonable.
Other stakeholders at the conference echoed the call for targeted interventions. As the conversation around illegal mining continues, the role of public relations in shaping public understanding and driving change remains more critical than ever.
Now, there has been an increased surveillance on the Black Volta as part of efforts to curb the sharp rise in galamsey activities in the Kintampo enclave. This heightened security action follows the arrest of 4 individuals believed to be involved in illegal mining. There's more in this report.
On the 20th of August 2025, the Municipal Chief Executive for Kintampo North led a joint team of military and police personnel to arrest 4 individuals engaged in illegal mining on the Black Volta River. The operation, which was intelligence-led, directly responded to the rampant pollution of the river. Following the arrest, the Assembly had intensified surveillance on the Black Volta to prevent further indulgence.
We have put surveillance on the Black Volta, which is a source of drinking water for my people some of the people in the Kintampo North municipality. We are making sure that that thing should not continue, so that to get people off their livelihood. Some fish there, and during galamsey, when you are doing galamsey, you cannot fish. Some also use the water for a whole lot. It is that same water that transcends from this Kintampo North and gets to the Akosombo Dam. Unfortunately, it is this same water we are polluting. So we are making sure that that activity become on something that is not pleasant for these people.
The regional minister has equally promised his readiness to clamp down on galamsey. He has declared a zero-tolerance policy against the fight of illegal mining, in line with the vision of President John Dramani Mahama.
Government is strongly fighting against galamsey. Whoever is involved should advise him or herself. We are not going to compromise this. We should make sure, the president has said it, we should make sure that you visit the appropriate quarters for the appropriate document before you can involve yourself in responsible mining, not illegal mining. Whoever is involved in illegal mining will be dealt with.
Away from issues of illegal mining, the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association is giving government a 3-week ultimatum to provide a clear payment schedule for nurses who are still owed salary arrears. President of the association, Perpetual Oforian Pofo, says the prolonged delay amounts to unfair labor practice and warns that if the issue isn't resolved soon, it could destabilize the currently calm health sector. Our labor affairs correspondent Daniel Upuku has the rest of the story.
More than 6,000 unpaid nurses and midwives took to the streets on Thursday, October 2, to express their frustration over months of delayed salaries. These nurses and midwives are demanding the payment of salary arrears spanning 9 to 10 months, while government has already added around 7,000 of them on the national payroll. 6,500 remain unpaid. Out of this number, 3,000 have had their details successfully captured by the Controller and Accountant General's Department, but the rest are still waiting. The prolonged delay in payments has sparked concern from the president of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, Perpetual Oforian Pofo. She is calling on government to immediately begin paying the affected nurses and to roll out a clear schedule for settling the arrears.
About 3,000 of them already have their inputs on the controller payroll system. And we have a number, about 3,500 of them, whose data have not been captured yet. So let's capture their data, and the Ministry of Finance should do the needful and get them paid, should find the resources and get them paid. And it's not just about paying them their monthly salary.
We should not have a situation where their arrears are not paid in full. Their arrears must be paid in full. If the arrears will be captured in the next budget, that is fine.
In addition to the arrears, she revealed that close to 80,000 trained nurses who graduated between 2021 and 2024 remain unemployed. The GNMA president urged government to take swift action to address the backlog.
The 2021 cohort of nurses, the 2022 cohort of nurses, 2023 cohort of nurses, 2024 cohort of nurses languishing at home, waiting for employment. If you put them all together, they should be somewhere around 80,000 plus, waiting to be employed.
On the matter of rotation nurses, Perpetual Foriampofo also had strong words for government.
Beyond those who are waiting to be employed, we also have the rotation nurses who have actually, when you take the 2024-2025 batch, they finished their internship or rotation and have gone about 5 months more. Nothing has been paid to them in terms of their rotation allowance. We duly negotiated.
Well, still on health, though, it looks as though it's not just the nurses who have issues. So the Junior Doctors Association of Ghana has announced that its members will embark on a nationwide withdrawal of services following months of neglect and unfair treatment of some of its members. And this will take effect from the 7th of October. They issued a statement and signed it. The leadership said that over 200 junior doctors have worked for 10 to 14 months without salaries. Let's take you through some of the key issues that they are raising in their statement. And they say, amongst other things, that they number in excess of about 200, and they have been working between 10 to 14 months without pay, for which reason they are going to spread out how they intend to roll out their strike. So they say several medical officers already on government payroll have had their salaries abruptly stopped without explanation. They also say that more than 800 medical officers have been awaiting postings for over a year and 4 months. And their strike will be rolled out in 2 phases. So the first one will be on the 7th of October 2025 to the 9th of October 2025. So that's the window they are giving government to take action. Other than that, they will now withdraw emergency services. So which is that if issues are not resolved within that window, the withdrawal will escalate to include emergency services, which will start on the 10th of October until further notice. So it looks as though the labor front, specifically the health front, is quite busy and active.
And now, the Ghana Police Service is urging the general public to disregard false media reports claiming that the intercepted 36 sacks suspected to be narcotics have turned into sawdust. The case, which is under investigation involving a Kia truck with registration number ER 760-223, was intercepted on the Sekeswa Road, halfway filled with sawdust. George Quaining reports.
Preliminary investigations indicate that on the 30th of September, some officers from the Eastern Regional Police Headquarters, Koforidua, arrested a driver of a Kia truck with registration number ER 760-2023, which was carrying goods suspected to be narcotics. A search in the truck revealed that the vehicle, which was halfway filled with sawdust, also had 36 sacks of dry substances suspected to be narcotics. After conveying the vehicle and its content to the Sekeswa police station, the suspect driver and his mate managed to escape, abandoning their truck. Efforts have since been intensified to get the 2 suspects rearrested. The Ghana Police Service is setting the record straight, and so some seized 36 bags of cannabis that were reported to have transformed into sawdust and route the police command as not what it is. These allegations are false, and so these allegations started emanating from the 1st of October when the truck was intercepted on the 30th of September. It's therefore entreating the general public to disregard any media reports on such claims. Updates on the matter will be released in subsequent days.
Let's go to the House of Parliament now, because the majority side of the House has described as baseless the claim by the minority that the Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation, Sam Nate George, acted unilaterally over the DSTV saga. Addressing the media in Parliament, members of the majority side, who are also on the Information and Communications Committee of Parliament, led by their chairman, Adam Sulemana, said that the committee's chair has called for a meeting between MultiChoice Ghana and the ministry to dialogue on the way forward.
There is nothing irregular about the minister's engagement with MultiChoice, and there is absolutely no justification for the call on the minister to resign. The minister has acted within his mandate and continues to provide the needed leadership to stabilize and guide the sector.
A member of the Information and Communication Committee, Adam Sulemana, said it is false to say the minister acted unilaterally.
The majority does not see anything wrong with the minister's asking for a price reduction, which is not against the law. It is in this context that the current administration measure, including the reduction in DSTV subscription prices, should be viewed as part of a broader effort to reset and revitalize the sector. On the specific issue of DSTV pricing, the minister acted in the supreme interest of DSTV consumers in Ghana.
The majority said Sam George has delivered more tangible reforms and initiatives within the 7 months he has been in office.
Audit and recovery of broadcast frequencies in February 2025, reduction of data costs also in February 2025, established the first ever data pricing committee with NCA, MNOs, and consumer groups to tackle high data charges. Strategic partnership with MTN, EcoBank, British High Commission, among others. He is bent on ending wasteful contracts. He has declined to renew the expensive Kearney GVG Common Monitoring Platform contract, saving the state millions.
In other news this evening, a new milestone of professional excellence has been marked at the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, GIMPA, as the International Certification Center, in partnership with the Global Academy of Finance and Management, hosted its 3rd annual professional congregation. The ceremony celebrated graduates who successfully completed specialized professional training programs, honoring their hard work and achievements.
The event, which brought together graduates, industry leaders, and academic faculties, underscored the growing relevance of professional training in today's competitive environment, with a strong call for continuous learning to meet the demands of the job market. With over 100 graduates stepping into new professional heights, the ceremony is more than just an academic achievement. Aseidu is Program Coordinator of International Certification Center.
ICC is an accredited training provider for the Global Academy of Finance and Management, and over the years we've been organizing these professional congregations to induct our members. Today's graduation has been wonderful. The whole idea is to create an atmosphere for professionals to interact, network, and then also, build their networking, and also to create a visibility that ICC and GAFM needs in Ghana and then across the board.
A graduate, Martha Eduse, shared how she found out about the program.
I love playing Candy Crush game, so the adverts came. I tried filling the form with my number and everything, and hey, calls upon calls. Emmanuel Aseidu Mahama, the coordinator, called until I had to give in.
Another graduate, Labi, spoke about the impacts of the certification in his career.
My background, I'm a consultant and also group head of audit with one of the insurance broking firms, where I'm the head of audit and risks. And coming into play with all this certification, it has really given me the professional standard and in handling clients.
Well, before we bring you business, we want you to know that for all you sports lovers, especially football lovers, the Ghana Premier League is home on TV3. Every week, TV3 gives you 3 live GPL matches, the biggest games, the fiercest rivalries, and the brightest stars brought straight to your screens with world-class coverage. So, if you want football, then you need to watch TV3. That's not all. We set the stage with our GPL preview show, giving you the inside scoop and expert analysis. And when the final whistle blows, We keep you covered with our highlights and review programs so you never miss a goal, a save, or a talking point.
For the fans who love to stay connected on the go, we have reels and updates on social media. This is more than just coverage. This is TV3 positioning the Ghana Premier League as premium sports products. So mark your calendars, gather your friends, and join us this weekend for another unforgettable round of Ghana Premier League football, only on TV3. We have business coming up next. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with us on News 360. Menuafo is on standby to bring us business. But before that, let's bring this to you. Business is booming for alcoholic beverage dealers at several lorry stations at Circle here in Accra, despite regulations prohibiting their sale at lorry parks. Joseph Armstrong Goldalagbe visited some lorry stations and reports.
Despite the efforts of the Motor Traffic and Transport Department of the Ghana Police Service and the National Road Safety Authority, the practice of citing alcoholic bars at lorry parks is still prevalent. In Accra, like in several other cities, it's a good business, with operators not concerned about the link between drunk driving and numerous accidents being recorded. On the shelves of majority of the bars are displayed strong alcoholic beverages.
If you are taking alcohol and you think that it's not good for you, I think you have to stop. But it's good for you, it's normal. Some people, if they take it, they misbehave. Others, if they take it, it cool them, it make them relax. You understand? So it's normal.
No more. You to make us say, "Oh, na alcohol about body man." Enye, nti alcohol de enye bad thing. Bible crack can say number my embo. Ebi mu be num bi ba nye onom on fan drive obu ohon ma wakọ kwan so aba na onye bi nko na wanom bi na wakodidi na wakoda.
A family physician specialist, Dr. Na Kowa Koka, called for a total regulation on the sale of alcohol, particularly at lorry stations.
It should be regulated for people to first of all know how dangerous it is, just as we've done for smoking, cigarette smoking, and it's clearly written. I know adverts do say don't drink, not for children under 18, blah blah, but we should be more deliberate about it. We should let people know what it's doing to the population. And we should regulate who is selling it, who has access. We should look more into it and make sure that we don't just make it available to just anybody. And even when people are taking more shots, I mean, we know we want our profits, but we should let them know how dangerous it is to their body.
She said statistics shows that alcohol consumption has increased in the country and between the ages of 15 and 25.
Statistically too, from 1960 till date, a study done by Ima et al. 2022 showing that our consumption increased from 1.46 liters per capita to a current, that's in 2022, of 1.69 liters per capita. And that's also, that same study mentioned the fact that about 3 million deaths globally are related to alcohol consumption, with its injuries and all the dangers that go with it, and that represents about 5.3% of mortalities worldwide.
President of Beverages Consumers and Bar Owners Association, also known as Drunkards Association, Moses Onya alias Drybone, also called for training for drinking bar owners.
Take on alcohol licensing, especially the sales licensing, is that there should be a system where we, the beverage sellers, should undergo a little bit of training, where after the training we get a certificate and then we'll be able to administer the alcoholic beverages to the right people.
Medical professionals and experts in the field have expressed worry about the correlation between increased alcoholic intake and a spike in liver diseases and also in road accidents. Joseph Armstrong, Good TV3, Accra.
The business segment is brought to you by MTN. Touch concentrated perfume.
Good evening. It's time now for business on News 360, and I'm Minu Afol. Now, some oil marketing companies have started upward price adjustments at the pumps in the first pricing window of October. The increases are in line with projections from the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, which warned of marginal hikes in petroleum products due to global market trends and the weakening cedi.
Some oil marketing companies, OMCs, have begun upward adjustments in fuel prices at the pumps. On October 2, major player Shell increased the price of diesel to 14 cedis 18 pesos per litre, up from 13 cedis 89 pesos, while petrol remained unchanged at 13 cedis 44 pesos per litre. Another major OMC also raised its pump prices by 2% across all products, with others expected to follow from October 3. The Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, COMAC, had projected marginal increases for the October 1 to 15 window. Petrol could rise by as much as 2.47% to about 14 cedis 52 pesos per litre, while diesel may increase by up to 3.41%, potentially selling at 15 cedis 17 pesos. Liquefied petroleum gas (LPG) could also see hikes between 2 and 4%. The chamber attributes the rise to climbing international product prices and continued seasonal depreciation of the cedi, which lost 2.74% against the dollar within the review period, bringing total third quarter losses to more than 15%. Crude oil prices also moved up 1.57% to $68.45 per barrel, with Brent forecast to rebound close to $70 amid geopolitical tensions and renewed supply concerns.
Well, away from that, Delta Airlines has reaffirmed its commitment to Ghana with seasonal daily non-stop service between Accra and Atlanta beginning December 1, 2025. General Manager of Communications Michael Thomas, reflecting on a century marked by innovation, reliability and operational excellence, reiterated Ghana's pivotal role in the airline's Africa strategy.
Delta has been present in Ghana since 2006, flying approximately 1.5 million customers on the New York JFK route. With the new service, Delta will now operate 2 direct routes to Accra, the year-round daily flight from New York JFK, and the newly introduced seasonal flight from Atlanta. General Manager of Communications Michael Thomas said the decision to expand service from Accra reflects Delta's confidence in Ghana's market.
Yeah, we're excited to be able to add an additional frequency from Atlanta now to Accra. This seasonal route will operate daily particularly through the holiday season from about December 1st until the middle part of January. And again, that's really to meet the demand of individuals who want to fly between the United States and Accra. And so, and also this brings a flight to Delta's largest hub. Atlanta is our home. That's where our headquarters is, and that's where we have almost 1,000 flights a day that depart out of Atlanta. So for customers flying from Accra into Atlanta, they've got an opportunity to connect to roughly 200 destinations across the United States.
For 19 years, Delta has served as a trusted link between Ghana and the United States, boosting economic activity, cultural exchange, and reuniting families across continents.
The amenities you get on board the aircraft, whether that's the incredibly comfortable seat, the in-flight entertainment, the free fast Wi-Fi that we offer on board the airplane, as well as operational reliability and everything in between. That's why Ghanaians should fly with Delta. We've been around for 100 years, and we are just getting started. We're excited to have Ghana as part of that history and as part of the Delta story, and we're excited to see where that goes next.
For a decade, the airline has partnered with Breast Care International to champion breast cancer awareness and early detection.
We'll conclude the segment with updates from the forex and commodities markets. My name is Minu Afol.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the sports segment here on News 360. My name is Bill Shen. It was yet another frustrating day for Bechem United in the Ghana Premier League as they were held to a goalless draw by Hearts of Oak. The result means the Hunters remain winless this season, earning just 2 points in 4 games, while the Phobians remain unbeaten with 8 points in 4 games. Here are reactions from both coaches.
Honestly, it's getting too much on my head because we've done go scoring, we've done finishing a lot. And I don't know why all these things is coming. It's happening to us. Honestly, all that I can say is, as a tactical man, I have to go back to the drawing board and see what is going on. And then you saw in the first half, we couldn't even hold the ball and play more. But when we came in the second half, because I told them what to do, and we started holding the ball. Now, it's getting where we have to get to the finishing third. And that is where we are lacking the knowledge to do the creativity and get to the net.
I think so. I think that there were 2 halves of challenges. They started so well, and then we took over. The first half, we controlled, greater part of the first half. We opened up the spaces, we controlled the tempo, and then we had the best spaces to exploit. But yes, we still needed a clinical move in terms of opening and creating the chances, and then making the goals. But I think that it's still good to still keep a very tight mode in terms of our clean sheet records.
Now to the fixtures for match day 4. Swedru All Blacks will face Gold Stars. Asante Kotoko will face Hearts of Lions. Brekum Chelsea versus Holy Stars. Dreams FC versus Vision FC. 11 Wonders versus Young Apostles. Hoho United will face Karela United. Mediama will face Nations FC, and Samatex will host Indiana. Moving on to Europe, after suffering back-to-back defeats to Crystal Palace in the Premier League and Galatasaray in the Champions League, Liverpool are looking to get back to winning ways as they travel to Stamford Bridge on Saturday to face Chelsea. Chelsea's coach Enzo Maresca highlights Liverpool's vulnerability, whilst Liverpool manager Arne Slot has admitted his team has to improve.
After 5 games, they had 50 points. My words was, if they continue in the same way, it's impossible to catch them. Now, they lost 1 game, 2 games. That show that there is vulnerability. And
that's
this is something
now and not 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, this is something for me from not just Liverpool, from all the teams in the world. So, and then the Premier League, you know how difficult it is, and you can draw points against any team.
Again, this can happen, and we should be better than that. That it doesn't matter if you are luck, bad luck, or smart or not smart. If you score a set piece goal or you concede 2, like against Palace. By the way, if we would have had the referee that we had against Galatasaray, we wouldn't have lost against Palace, because this one blew his whistle exactly after 8 minutes. But again, that has nothing to do with the current results. We need to do better. And that's why what we're going to try.
Now to our final story. Ghana proudly hosted the prestigious King's Baton Relay, a cherished tradition of the Commonwealth Games that symbolizes unity, peace and friendship among nations. The event, which was held at the Jubilee House earlier today, marked Ghana's official preparations for that sporting event. The event was colored with an exciting and healthy baton relay, which saw about 48 different baton bearers positioned across the streets of Accra and participated in a walk with the aim of advocating against plastic pollution. The event will continue in Ghana until October 8th. And as Baton continues its journey across the Commonwealth, Ghana's participation reaffirms its commitment to the ideals of sportsmanship and international solidarity. That's it for the sports segment here on News 360. My name is Billy Shen. There's more on the bulletin after the break.
Entertainment.
Good evening and welcome to the Entertainment News segment here on News 360. My name is Noella Donko. Now, American Ghanaian comedian Michael Blackson has said that his public criticism of the new patriotic party's government's handling of the domestic debt exchange program may have contributed to the party's defeat in the 2024 general elections. In an interview on The Breakfast Club in the U.S., Michael Blackson revealed that his $1 million Eurobond investment was set aside to generate steady income for his school project in Ghana, and that was caught up in the government's debt restructuring program. Now, he explained that a Eurobond scheme initially appeared attractive because it promised a 10% monthly return on investment, regardless of the currency. However, he disclosed that after receiving only 1 or 2 month payments, the returns abruptly stopped, a situation he said fueled his outspokenness against the government.
To even open up a nonprofit was an issue I had with the last government of Ghana. They had his bonds, the Euro bonds, that was paying 10% interest rate. And I'm like, okay, it's $1 million. I put $1 million in there to get, and give me $10,000 a month. So I send $1 million to my continent, to my country, and I said, okay, now the school be set.
Interest will pay for it.
Interest pay for it. Yeah. So I got we got like 1, 2 payments, and then payments stopped. I hit up the financial guy there. I'm like, what's going on? He said, well, they're having some issues, but everything's gonna be okay. 2 years later, no payment. You know, it's all on that last government. I'm not gonna blame it on the country. Ghana is a great country, and this issues never happened in the history of Ghana where your bonds. So I went on Twitter and I lit them up. I mean, I lit them so hard, I think I was probably the cause of the last government losing election because they became worldwide.
And on to some more stories. American rapper and record producer Sean Diddy Combs is in court in New York, where he is expected to be sentenced on 2 counts of transportation for prostitution. The music mogul was convicted of flying people across the U.S. for sexual encounters he called freak-offs, including his girlfriends and male sex workers. The judge says Combs could be jailed for 6 to 7 years. The prosecution wants him to serve at least 11 years in prison, while Combs' lawyers have asked for 14 months. Now, prosecutors say Combs would pose a danger at any age and argue a lighter sentence would let him get away with years of abuse. Well, that's it for the entertainment news segment here on News 360. But do join us this weekend for the amazing programs we have for you, starting with Showbiz 360, which comes off tonight with Giovanni Kayla. My name is Noella Donko. Enjoy your weekend.
International news is up next.
South Africa's highest court has unanimously ruled that all parents of newborns are entitled to equal parental leave, a landmark judgment hailed as a major victory for gender equality and family rights. Under the current law, mothers are granted 4 months of leave, while fathers receive just 10 days. In its ruling, the Constitutional Court declared parts of the legislation unconstitutional, calling it discriminatory against fathers, and ruled that both parents may now share the granted leave, however they choose. The case was brought to court by a married couple, the Commission for Gender Equality, and others who sought to address the unfair societal burden placed primarily on mothers, highlighting that parenting responsibilities should be shared.
And that's it for our package this evening. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, and news just coming in is that at 8 o'clock, we have Showbiz 360. So you do need to make a date with Giovanni. I am Martin Aseidu.
And I am Ayisha Yakubu. Good evening.